everybody.
Hi.
Today we are in a Chelsea restaurant with Buddha. How are you doing today?
I'm doing pretty well.
That's good.
How are you doing?
I'm good. I'm doing good. Thank you for asking. In one of your interviews, you was asking people who are they inspired by.
Right.
So who are you inspired by?
I have several inspirations. One is my biggest inspiration is probably Soul Train TV show and the Soul Train dancers, of which the Lockers are a part of, the Electric Boogaloos are a part of. A big influence for me is Gregory Hines, famous dancer, tap dancer, singer. Another big influence for me is, well, I look at her as the GOAT,
Okay.
Miss Debbie Allen.
All right.
And yeah, big influence on me is my family. My cousin Stephanie, God bless her dead, was a great dancer. My cousin Stevie, her twin, great dancer. My other cousin, Pretty Black, great dancer. My mother, my father, so it's a part of my upbringing.
All right. Thank you.
Oh, can't forget my cousin Charles, who was the inspiration for me to start street dancing.
Oh, okay. Thank you. Now, how do you deal in this pandemic situation?
The pandemic has been quite a situation in of itself. Not being able to travel, because that's what we've been doing for the last 20 plus years, teaching and traveling and judging. But I've been blessed in that I've still been able to teach just online, virtually.
Okay.
And I've taught in many of the same countries that I would normally travel to. We met online virtually, and I've gotten to teach in some places that I had previously never been to, like Ireland.
Yeah.
But I got to actually travel from last fall, when COVID kind of took a break.
Yeah.
And I got to travel to a few different places. But I've been able to teach virtually throughout for the entirety of the pandemic. So it's been a blessing to still be able to do what I love for a living. And it's been a blessing to still be able to do what I do, even virtually. And hopefully when the Omicron, Delta, Omarion variants go elsewhere, I'll start to travel all over again. Hopefully we won't get another one.
Yes. How do you deal with your financial situation in this pandemic?
As I stated before, my financial situation has been a blessing as I've continued to work throughout the pandemic. I wasn't able to travel, but I've been able to still connect with my students abroad and my students here locally and nationally. So financially, I've been blessed. I've still been able to make a living and pay my bills.
Yeah.
And it hasn't been a problem, and I give thanks.
Yeah, okay. You're doing music with Link and Khalif and people. How would you describe the music you create?
The music we create is, I would describe it as our approach to hip-hop music. It's our perspective of what the music should sound like, what we want to say through the music and the culture, and our particular sound of the culture. That would be my description of it.
All right. Do you ever think about stop making music?
Every time I think about stopping, someone asks me for music. So, yeah,
No
or I
chance.
get inspired by some new music, or I don't think that. For me, the music and the dance are tied together. So as long as there's new music, I'll be inspired by that to create my own version of that and to dance to it.
Okay, thank you. Um, in one of your interviews, you also said that you have to learn basis of styles and use everything that you learn in your dance. So you put brick by brick, and this is how you build your own house.
Yep.
How to build this unity? How to build this house in New York, and not in America?
Well, you have to understand that first and foremost, the culture is already built.
Yeah.
What you have to do is find your place within the culture and then build your voice within the culture. Build your own expression, your own dance. The way to do that is to find what inspires you in the culture. Fire. Yeah, you have to find what in the culture inspires you. It could be dance, it could be music, it could be art, it could be, spoken word, i.e. rap.
Mm-hmm.
So that is entirely up to you as a person and an artist. It's the culture is about self-expression. So you're looking to show and share with people how the culture inspires you, how it makes you feel, how you want to express yourself. And when I say that you need to learn the basics, it's because you need that to build your own dance. It's like a house.
Yeah.
You need foundation, and you take the foundation and you build it how you want to build it. So your house shouldn't look like my house, shouldn't sound like my house.
Right.
And that's the beauty of the culture.
Right. Have you accomplished all the things that you want to accomplish in your life?
Not a chance. I haven't accomplished much of anything, really. I've done some great things, but there are literally an endless amount of other things that I want to accomplish. I've actually never made a bucket list. I always just go with what the Spirit tells me. And the Spirit tells me I'm not even close to done, so I keep it moving.
All right. What would you like to change about the status that people put on your name?
I wouldn't change a thing. I mean, people's impression or perspective of me is their own. My perspective of me is what matters. Myself, my children, my family, my wife. What other people think of me is immaterial. I mean, it doesn't matter. I think I'm pretty good, and I show that I'm pretty good. And as long as I continue to do that and express myself how I feel, then what other people think of me is kind of like, that's up to them. I mean, from the beginning, there are people that have loved what I've done, and there are people that hate what I do. So I really do this for the haters. I want them to have more to hate, I want them to be, they've been mad, they've been big mad. Now I want them to be, put on a red cape and be super mad.
Thank you. Oh. Could hip hop be bigger than government?
Hip hop bigger than the government. Hip hop is already bigger than the government.
Oh wow.
The governments run countries. They run systems, and hip hop exists beyond those systems. That's why there's a big connection amongst different countries. If you left it up to the government, they would keep hip hop separate because hip hop brings people together. Hip hop educates people. Hip hop inspires people, and governments don't really want that. They want a populace that they can control, and hip hop has always been out of control, beyond control. So I think it's It's just like governments are separate, but hip hop is
Bigger.
a living, breathing organism,
Yeah.
like the earth itself. So
Yeah.
I think it's much bigger than the government.
All right. Next question. What kind of support did help you on improve your skills as a choreographer?
Hmm. What kind of support?
Yeah.
Practice. Practice. I mean, when I started, I didn't know I was a choreographer. My friends told the people that I was a choreographer, so I didn't even know, what that even meant. I mean, I knew what a choreographer was, but I didn't know that was who I was. And over time, I continued to practice to get better at it. Even now, I'm still trying to learn to do it even better. Choreography is basically movement engineering. So the better you understand the body and the human spirit, the better you can engineer how that moves to the music. So for me, it's practice. I mean, without practice, nobody's gonna just wake up and be good, except maybe Link.
And it's 30 years this month since Remember the Time was choreographed by
Yes.
Buddha Stretch and Link. Okay. What is your biggest blessing?
My biggest blessing. My biggest blessing is, well, I have two of my biggest blessings. One is my children. Without them, I don't think any of this would be possible. They're the inspiration. And secondly, the biggest blessing is I get paid to be me. My job is to be me.
Thank you.
I don't think that there could be a bigger blessing than that. To be able to get paid to be yourself is, the biggest blessing I can think of.
Wow. All right, about events. What do you think about judging today? Is it biased? And why?
Judging is inherently biased because everything is subjective. It's all about perspective. The thing that reduces the level of biasness is education. If you have a criterion that you're judging on, then your bias is lessened because you have to judge things from a specific standpoint. And it's also based on experience. If you don't have the level of experience, you shouldn't be judging. If you don't understand what you're looking at, you shouldn't be judging. If you can't rationalize and what is the word? Explain your decisions, you shouldn't be judging. So, I mean, it's not the biasness that gets you, because everyone is biased to a certain point. Everyone has their likes and dislikes, but an excellent judge looks past what they like, and because there's always something new to like. There's always another perspective that maybe you didn't see or haven't experienced yet. So if you look at things from that perspective, then you're open, thus your judging won't be as inherently biased as, say, another judge who only wants things a certain way. If you're really trying to be a great judge, you should be open-minded at all times. And if you're not open-minded, you shouldn't be judging.
How organizers can get open-minded judges?
Well, the organizers have to do their homework, just
Okay.
like everyone else.
Yeah.
You can pick anyone off the street to judge. That doesn't make them a good judge. Again, you have to look at people's past experiences, and based on how they judge, are they fair? Are they open-minded? Are they judging based on the moment, not on the past or what they think they should have seen? that's how you that's, in my opinion, how you should look to when picking a judge. No, it's there's no foolproof way. Um, as an organizer myself, I've chosen people and completely disagreed with their judgment, but I respect their judgment. That's why I chose them. Um, I might not ever choose them again, but I at least give them the benefit of doubt that their level of expertise will, do the job.
Yeah. Now, how you ever be disappointed in hip hop?
Have I ever been disappointed in hip hop?
Yeah.
In the culture or
Industry.
in the industry?
Yes.
Oh, I'm disappointed daily. I mean, the industry is at this point in time is basically like, I mean, it's almost a joke. Uh, the industry is just like the rest of any other industry here in America. It's based on supply and demand, and it's based on, uh, you know, sell high and buy cheap. So for me, it's been a disappointment for quite some time because from the dancer's perspective, the industry looks at dancers as the least the lowest level on the totem pole for their needs and for what they would invest or pay for. When in the industry, when there's a show, they pay the directors, they pay the director of photographer, they pay the lighting, they pay the sound. Everyone gets paid, but they want the dancers to dance for hours and to do these great performances and to, again, engineer this movement, but they don't want to pay you, or they want to pay you the least amount possible for basically the most amount of work, and for me, it's ridiculous. I mean, that's how should I say it? That's Hollywood. That's how they do. That's capitalism, and that's how it's done. So that's always been a bit disappointing for me, but that's why, again, I get paid to do me.
What about culture?
Hmm?
What about culture? Have you ever been disappointed in culture?
No, the culture is the one thing that never disappoints, because the culture, again, is a living, breathing organism. It's growing, it's morphing, it's changing, it's adapting, and that's a beautiful thing because no one person or group of persons can say the culture is only this. The culture is what the culture expresses at any given time. And that's the beautiful thing of it. Sometimes you don't agree with the cultural expression, but you have to love the fact that there is cultural expression. And for me, that's never disappointing.
Thank you. I have a related question because you recently did an interview about volunteering. Dancers should not volunteering in
Volunteering, yes.
volunteering. Yes. So how to put value in what you do?
Well, first and foremost, as my dad taught me, if you don't value what you do, why would anyone else? If you don't think what you do is worth a particular price, then no one else will. They'll think that it's worth less. Even if they think it's gold, if you think it's, shit, then they're going to give you shit for it. But if you think it's gold, then they're going to think, well, maybe it is gold. Maybe I should, exchange gold for gold. You have to put a value on yourself, your time, your expression, your talent, your technique. And again, it's your life. I mean, this is your life. As a dancer, you're expressing yourself through music and art. And, just like any other artist, I mean, Picasso is valued at millions. You know, the average person on the street doesn't know who Picasso is. Has never probably seen his paintings, but they've heard, and that value is based on what other people have told them. So you have to establish your value so that other people get that you are valuable, you are priceless, you know, and you have to put a price on your talent, on what you do. If you don't, then, you know, don't get mad when you see other people getting paid for the same thing.
You dance because of the music.
Mm-hmm.
If it wasn't be for music, where would you be now?
Well, first off, I'd probably be in a insane asylum.
Huh?
I'd probably be in a insane asylum, in a hospital,
Oh.
with like a white coat and my arms strapped, because the idea that there's no music would drive me crazy.
Okay.
If there were no music, there are no speakers, there are no soundtracks, there are no radio stations, there are no turntables, there's no dance studios. There are no, you know, what else?
Events.
Yeah, there are no events. There are no
Clubs,
nightclubs. Yeah, so think about what you lose when you lose music.
Okay.
And the world sucks if there's no music. So for me, if I didn't dance, I would probably still be doing art, because that was my first love. I could draw, I could paint.
Oh wow.
Before I learned that I could dance and that people actually liked what I could do, people loved that I could draw and I could paint and I could sculpt. I was an artist. And so I would probably be doing that more than anything else.
All right. Is there any projects people can expect from you in this year?
Yes. We'll be holding our annual street dance intensive, the 36 Chambers, this summer, and hopefully, again, Omicron, Delta, Omarion is touching elsewhere. We'll be holding the event Step Your Game Up again this summer. We'll be, if everything goes according to plan, slowly but surely opening up a academic program this fall.
Wow.
The Mop Top School.
Wow.
And yeah, we're looking to establishing within another year a curriculum-based program in school at Perry Dance.
Great. That's really great. The last question is, where do you think the future of the music and dance industry lies?
Where do I think the future lies?
Yeah.
I have no idea. One of the things that I never try to do is to predict the future of the culture or anything. I'm along for the ride. So for me, I go where the wind takes. And I think the culture is going to take us all where it wants to go, not where we think it should go. And I look forward to seeing where that is.
All right. Thank you very much. Thank you, Buddha, for your time.
No worries.
Especially.
Also, I just want to point out, for the people that say there's no hip-hop, I'm sitting right here. I exist. I am the culture. You're watching me. So if you thought that there was no hip-hop, then why are you watching me? Why are you listening? We are the culture. We exist. We have existed now for almost 50 years. Hip-hop started in 73. It's 2022. Get on board or get out of the way.
February, Black History Month.
We are Black History. T.